Everybody, it's Captain Kyle and I'm here with Scourge, but not the Scourge you're probably used to. This is the one from Rise of the Beasts. He is the leader, I think, of the Terrorcons. I mean, first they took the Predacons and made a whole subgroup, and now they're taking the Terrorcons and doing the same thing? Where's our Protectobots? But this is from the Attack at the Museum, which I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know what that means. But he looks pretty much like a version of Tarn. And he's got 31 steps. It's in this big box. Doesn't have a window, but we're gonna pop him out and see if he's cool for your collection. Be right back. All right, so doing a little surgery here and cutting the tape, and let's see what we have inside. And there's the figure. Now this is leader class, whereas that looks Voyager sized. Now in here there is a shitty piece of paper and also a little museum playset that you can stick him up on, and instructions, which are probably going to be important. And here's a cat. Her name is Skye. Now people have been asking me to review Skye. So Skye is very soft and very cuddly, and she's got 2 eyes. She likes to be scratched under the chin, and her tongue will actually come out and lick you. Her tongue is not as rough as other cats. But anyway, this is actually a review of Scourge. I need to take him the rest of the way out of his package. He feels pretty hefty, but let's see. Do you want some drugs? Do you want some drugs? No, wasn't fooled. So hard to cut through this packaging when Skye is stretching in front of it. See you later. I enjoy Skye being here, but I don't want to cause her harm. I'm just guessing that this is the leader of the Terrorcons because he's got the weird mask. He seems like the type who might be a leader. And he's leader class, even though he looks like Voyager class. My day, leader class was much bigger. We didn't even call it leader class. We just called it very expensive. All right, all these strings have been cut. There are no strings on me. And let's see if we can maneuver him out of this packaging he has been so cleverly trapped in. There we go. So my initial impression of this guy, I mean, box notwithstanding, the face, definitely kind of Tarn-like. But the body kind of reminds me of Lockdown from Animated. Let's see, we can get him to stand. He's got this weapon here that apparently flips open and becomes some kind of mutated batlet, or batleth, however you say it, in the Star Trek universe. I'm going to destroy you with my batlet. Today is a good day to die. For you. So apparently his arms are a little turned around in the packaging, but there he is. All right, let's see here. Now, when you look at the back, you can kind of see all the truck stuff. But yeah, definitely has lost his head. The head popped off, but it apparently pops right back on. So I hope it does. There we go. But the neck and head and body kind of remind me again of Lockdown. But let's go through the posability. Let's see what he's got. So this is a Studio Series 1, so I expect a lot from him, especially leader class. He does a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. The leg goes forward, the leg goes back. He's got ankle rockers, so he can have a wide stance. He bends at the knee, he swivels, he can put his right foot in, his right foot out. Right foot in, and you can shake it all about. Yes, he can do the hokey pokey. But yes, a lot of maneuverability for the legs, swiveling, ankle swivels, and probably part of the transformation, but he can even kind of move his foot like that, which is not looking very healthy. I don't think that is the healthiest way to put your foot. If my foot went like that, I would be in the hospital. So at the waist, he does twist, though he doesn't twist all the way around. So he twists that far and no more. I could possibly force it, but I'm not going to. Spent money for this thing. It doesn't feel like there's any other joints in there, not like the model kits. His shoulder can go all the way around. Because of this in the back, you can't have the arm straight down and really spin it all the way around. But he bends at the elbow, even bends. He's got a slight indent when you go too far back with the elbow. His hands open and close because he's got this weapon that's attached to him that he can move out of the way, apparently, if he just wants to move his fingers around. Now, neither hand seems to really twist. He's got, obviously, bend at the elbow, but he's got a swivel, looks like, so he can swivel out. He's got these really annoying shoulder pads, and I thought this movie was set in the 90s, not the 80s. The other arm has this weird-looking Starro-type you know, basically opens up into this 4 tentacled claw, does not twist, but the arm moves pretty much in all other directions. The head turns on this really weird big neck. He almost also looks a little bit, and he can go forward a little bit. He looks a little bit like General Grievous. Oh, Kenobi, I have studied the Jedi arts from your own Count Dooku. All right, the drugs. Let's check them out. He has some kind of weapon here. I refer to the instruction book. Apparently this is an ass cover. Okay, well, it can be stored on his ass. When he doesn't want to carry it around, when he wants to tentacle someone, it can go into his ass. You know, which is how a lot of people smuggle things. Now, apparently there is a post here somewhere. Aha. So, just like Gamer Optimus Prime, you can pop this thing off, and that looks like it attaches to his back there. And you can take this weapon and attach it to his arm so he can shoot people instead of just clawing them or slicing them up. The attachment on the back, if you just tap it lightly, it's gonna fall off. So just be aware of that. So he's pretty well armed, this Terrorcon, though things keep falling off of his back. And to get the batleth in the proper position, you kind of gotta wiggle and make sure that that is aligned properly. And his head fell off again. So far, I'm not uber impressed with the Scourge. I mean, he's falling apart more than a Junkion. I mean, yes, you can put him back together. But really, he just shoves stuff up his ass. All right, after all that, let's check out his transformation. So, apparently we take this off his ass and do some other stuff. He's got little plastic things on him. Luckily, they didn't interfere with anything I was doing thus far, but he's got more than glue and tape. He's got these little plastic pieces of shit things to hold that all together. All right, this was a pain in the ass, but finally I got him in his truck mode. And I realized Michael Bay is not a major part of this movie. Directed by someone else, it's off the Bumblebee movie, which I love. But this character design is such a pain in the ass. I mean, most studio series I can figure out. This one was a pain in the ass to get everything lined up properly, and its head kept popping off, which is now, you know, securely under there. Unless I just popped it off again. I mean, I like a challenge sometimes. I like a clever transformation, but this, combining this skeletal warrior into a actual tractor trailer, which looks reminiscent of Prime. You know, normally I love repaints. If they repaint this guy, I'm not getting another one. Forget it. I mean, after it's said and done, it's not a bad looking vehicle. It actually rolls pretty well, and it's kind of evil looking. I kind of dig that it's evil looking, but just lining up everything perfectly, figuring out how to get everything plugged into the exact spot it needs to go was not easy. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm old, maybe I'm from someone who played with G1 in the original way back in the, you know what I'm talking about. You know, maybe I'm spoiled with G1, and even, you know, Siege wasn't too bad. You know, it's just some of these complex transformations and some of these Bayverse style robots. I mean, I know this is not, again, a Michael Bay film, but this guy has a lot of elements of Michael Bay style robotics, and so I'm not loving him. I mean, you might find him very easy to transform. You might be laughing at me in the comments. That's fine. Just, he was a pain. His head kept popping off. And getting these shoulders into the proper configuration to form this hood, it's a real pain. Finally got it in, and the instructions are not exactly useless, but not as helpful as they could be. But there he is. He is a handsome truck. I will probably get him back into robot mode and put him on a shelf somewhere, but you know, I've transformed some pretty difficult transformers, and this was one of the biggest pain in the asses. Not that he's overly complex, it's just getting the things where it says you need to get them can be a pain. But he's an evil looking bastard, and I will put a link right in the description if you want to get this guy. But while you're mulling over this Terrorcon or whatever he's supposed to be, who, you know, apparently likes museums, you can check out this video over here, which is Scourge, but the G1 version. Oh, it's a counterfeit, but check that out. And of course, like, share, subscribe. Super thanks would be wonderful because I need a drink. And as always, have fun and good hunting.